Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to episode 163 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast, your source for all things responsible and ratchet. Welcome to this week's episode, guys. We are winding down of the season. This is the last episode of 2020. And our guest is none other than our problematic fave. Brian is here to close out the year for the Boonie Breakdown. We have a ratchet conversation. I mean, that's the only way to put it. We take a few listener questions. I give our homie the chance to be, he was Kevin Samuels on the podcast before this guy, Kevin Samuels, went viral, right? So he rates me and he rates a fellow listener who asked for Brian to rate her. Okay, let me put that caveat there before y'all come for us, all right? We also share one responsible wish for 2021 and a ratchet wish for 2021. So stick around for that conversation. We're hopping right into the pick of the week. So if you have not watched Pixar's Soul yet, do it right now, okay? After you listen to this episode, go ahead, go on Disney Plus and watch Soul. I had no idea about this movie, what it was about. But I saw KG tweet that it was the best thing that he had watched this year. So I said, all right, let me cue this up. Let me use his Disney Plus login and watch it. I will agree the movie was, I had no expectations, but it really was a good watch. It really expounded on a lot of deep content about your purpose versus passion. And I think one of my biggest, things that resonated for me was that we spend our life so much looking for the big break. And this is going to be my moment that we overlook the small things in life that bring us blessings, that give us pleasure, that happen to us every single day. And those small blessings and small moments of joy matter so much more than those big moments. And you finally get the moment and you've built it up and it's like, okay, well, life still keeps going on. It had me questioning mortality. They touched on reincarnation and chakras and metaphysics. Like, it was just really well done. It really got me thinking about my own passion versus purpose and just how we move about life. I just really did not expect it to hit me the way it did. And there are criticisms about it. I've been reading stuff about it's white supremacy. And I mean, I'm not going to knock it if that's your feelings. Those aren't any of the takeaways that I had. So I was like, maybe I'm just not woke enough. But yeah, that was some people's opinion on it. So let me know if you watched it. I know a few people on Twitter, we were conversing about it. A few people in my DMs on Instagram on Sunday. But if you've watched it, let me know what you thought about it. All right. Housekeeping first. Feedback from episode 162, favorite albums of 2020 with KG. I got so much feedback about how everyone it pretty much seemed like Chloe and Haley's album was their album of 2020. One person said, oh my God, I didn't know any of the albums that KG said. Yeah, I didn't know a lot of them. I had maybe heard songs, but I had not listened to the full bodies of work, like I said. Someone else was like, Boonie, you know you wrong saying that Lizzo is starting her fat girl descent. I mean, you heard it here first. Lizzo ain't gonna be fat much longer, so just know it's coming. All right. So if you have not listened to episode 162, you can go back and check that out. Also, KG and I did a Spotify playlist for our favorite songs of 2020. So those are also linked in these show notes because I don't think I put them. We didn't do that until middle of the week last week. So I'll link them in these show notes. All right. And just so you know, after this episode, there are 2 episodes left of the Boonie Breakdown Season 8. Season 9 of the Boonie Breakdown will start Monday, March 1st, okay? And if you listen to this episode, Brian puts me on the record of something that we're going to do in early 2021, all right? So you need to put all these things on your calendar and hold me accountable because I'll dip out and just not do it. But again, Season 9 starts Monday, March 1st, so go ahead and put that on your calendars now. Also, Ratcheteer Gang, I have to thank you. 2020, without doing any live shows, which I was sad about, but We had to be safe this year, but 2020 was the best year ever for the podcast in terms of listens and downloads. So thank you guys so much for listening. For an independent podcast where I do all of the work. And when I say all of the work, I mean all of the fucking work. Thank you guys so much for letting me crush my goal this year. I've never had this many downloads in a year for the podcast. So thank you so much. Continue to listen, share it with your friends. Just whatever you hear somebody talking in your group chat about, we was sucking dicks. All right, go send them the episode about dick sucking. Oh, your friend says she can't ride dick. Go ahead and send them the episode 145 about how to ride dick. We have a topic for everything. Student loans, go ahead and send them episode 50 for student loans. But this is how I continue to grow. And I just thank you guys, because I could not crush this goal without you. Without you guys listening and being the great Ratcheteer gang that you are. So again, thank you. If you are new here, this is your first episode, or you've been toying around, you only listen when Brian is on the podcast, I encourage you to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Boonie Breakdown. You can follow us over on Twitter, just Boonie Breakdown, all right? And when you're sharing this episode, be sure to tag us. Use the hashtag The Boonie Breakdown, hashtag PODIN, PODIN. I love it when you guys put it in your Insta story and tag us, right? It's so dope. That helps us get the word out even more. So do all of these kind things. It really... I can't even tell you how much that helps me, because just let you know, when you guys do that, this is how we get to have our best year ever. So I appreciate it. If you want to go a step further, you still ain't get me a birthday gift. You want to give me a close out the year gift, a congratulations on having your best year ever. You can write a 5-star review. You can leave that over on our Facebook page at The Boonie Breakdown, or you can leave it in the Purple app if you listen on any Apple device, iPad, iPod, MacBook, iPhone. You can open the podcast app on your phone, search for The Boonie Breakdown, select it, scroll down where it says write a review, hit those 5 stars. That's it. You're done. And it takes less than 30 seconds to leave us a 5-star review. So I appreciate all of your support this year. But we about to close out 2020 with some Ratchet. So let's get ready to break it down. All right, guys, it's your girl Boonie, and I'm excited. I feel like the only way to close out 2020 for the Boonie Breakdown was to have our problematic fave.
Yes. I love when I get the call. I feel excited. I feel privileged. I feel like I get to talk my shit, and I got a lot of shit I want to talk.
Uh-oh. All right, so how you want to do this? You want to do your questions, or you want to get into your shit talking?
We can do it all together. I mean, you started off, because I like people to know that this shit is not planned. Like
it is not. I literally send him a text or call and be like, "You free to record this week?"
and it just
and then I literally send him a link. We hit record. He has no idea what we're gonna say. Sometimes I don't even know what we're gonna say, because I just know we got good chemistry, my friend.
Yes, we do, and people always say that. That's why. It comes back to that one question where people always think that how good chemistry leads from other things, but we're not going to go there. You know what we're talking about. You know what we're here to do. Let's get into it.
All right. So I got this one question. It was a very brief question, but I thought it was something, I don't think we've ever talked about this really. And so it was like, Boonie and Brian, I need your help. I'm dating a guy, and he let me know that I am not the only girl on his roster. In fact, it is 5 of us. How can I stand out and be the standout star on his roster? Please help.
I love the fact that he just put her into a competitive mindset.
I know what my answer is, but I'm going to let you go.
Look, at the end of the day, it's like this. If it's a team of 5, everybody has a role. You just have to know your role. So if I have a team of 5 and I got, a point guard, a shooting guard, a center, and 2 forwards, small forward, power forward, you got to ask yourself what you want to do. At the end of the day, like if it's 5 of y'all, you got to just decide if you're going to be the person who get the rebounds, the person who score the ball, the person who run the show. So
I'm going to ask you something. You just said like they each play a role. Do you want one trying to stand out? Like if you already know what you have them there for.
That's the thing. That's what I was going to get to. So it's nothing she
Okay.
can really. If she stand out, she becomes the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the shining star. So when you pledge in and you online and you start doing stupid shit and you go away from being a team member, like you get called the shining star. So you start to be like doing too much. So what you need to do is just maintain your role. If you want to stay here in a situation with 5 of y'all, 4 others, enjoy it. I mean,
So here's my thing. I mean, the fact that she wants to be the standout lets me know that she wants more. Like, she wants more. And I feel like, sis, you setting yourself up. Don't be no standout. Go get you a roster. Build you a fucking roster. Shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm happy that he just went hard and just said it's 5. Like at the end of the day, I might have been like, yeah, it's you and another person. Like I'm not gonna be like it's 4 or more other people.
See, here's my thing. I operate under the assumption, and I know assumption is terrible, but I operate under the assumption because it's what I do, is that even if we're talking, you're entertaining other people, as am I. I might be fucking them too. You might be fucking them. It is what it is until we have that conversation that we are exclusive. So I don't know. I don't know if I would want to be like, let me take on this project so I can be standout, Miss Pretty Pussy or something. I don't know, like what you're trying to get out of this, but I don't know if it's gonna be worth your effort, sis.
The thing is, it sounds like she want to be in a different category and he doesn't want anything. And so what I always tell women is, you know a man's actions by what he's saying that he want. If I got 5 people, basically, I'm basically saying that I got one person to do this, I got one person to do that, or I got one tall, I got one short, I got one dark, I got one light, I got one fat, I got one skinny. You getting all of the things in one. So that's like one of the things where you can't control that. And what are you trying to stand out for? Like, you trying to get the other 4 off the block? That's not going to happen. Clearly, he wants a variety, and
I'm like, sis,
yourself up.
I think she wasting her time on this one because I'm just really not putting in energy to be the standout pussy.
Right. So it's like, well, what are you competing for? Like, what's your goal? Like, what are you really competing for? That's what you gotta. That's what you gotta look in the mirror and ask yourself. If you really like this person, and I mean, that's just like your manager say, look, we're about to hire somebody to take over my spot. And there's 4 other people who we looking at with you. Like, God damn, like,
Because what
like
I'm going to do in that scenario, which I would probably do in this one, is be like, fuck this job. I'm out. Like,
yeah. And that's probably our personality. Because even when I was like in a position where they like flew me away to this like final job interview when I wasn't working, so I'm like excited, like yeah, like this is it. Like I just got going there, and I'm gonna blow this one motherfucker away. And then I get in there, and they're like, "Well, we flew 4 people in." The fuck you mean you flew 4 people in? Like this is the final shit. Like you got to make a fucking decision. You can't like narrow shit down when it's 4 people. It's 4 people. Like everybody's gonna bring something different. Yeah. So it's not worth me competing against 4 people.
Yes, sis. Yeah. I'm gonna say pack that up. It sounds like you want a relationship and this nigga is not there.
And he might have told you, he might have honestly told you that it was 4 other people just because he's not that fucking into you. And he kind of like, well, she leave. Because it could have been like, if you play devil's advocate, he could have like, she could have been like, so you talk to other people? Yeah, 4 other people. And she just like took it right on the check.
Now that you say that sounds so egregious. It sounds like something a man would do, just to be like, this is my out and I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, because it might be just the whole point. Like, yeah, like that's
because I'm gonna tell you what, I am not competing off no shit. So I might still fuck them from time to time until but
yeah, and if that's what you want and that's what you're getting out of it, do that, but don't put yourself in a position. I'm not even going to go against no other man, but you could say that shit.
All right, next one. This one was real short, and I know you're going to say something ignorant. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll surprise me because you're in therapy. Brian, how can I get my man to pay my bills? Help.
So before he even became your man, you should have already had in your mind that he was willing to provide financial assistance just based off of just him knowing you, or y'all having that type of relationship. Um, when men are generous, it's usually upfront, and you don't have to ask. When you have to ask, that kind of goes against like the whole principles of like us being generous. Like if I see that I'm dealing with somebody and they don't ask for anything, but I give, that's a sign that like I'm generous. When a woman starts to ask, that kind of makes us feel uneasy. So why would you want a man to pay your bills? Can you not afford your bills? What is the purpose of you having him pay your bills? If you're paying him fine, I don't understand what it means to you for him to pay your bills. But if you needed help and he ignored your calls for help, then that's another issue. Like I feel like if we dating and you like, damn, like Christmas around the corner and I can't get little Junebug nothing because I just had to, get my brakes fixed. Yeah, whatever. I get my brakes fixed. Like most men in a relationship with you gonna be like, hey babe, what you need? If I got it, I'm be like, babe, what you need? All right, cool. Cause I'm looking out for you. We together. We a couple. If your lights get cut off, I ain't got no lights on when I come over to fuck. There ain't gonna be no heat. So usually 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be a little generous to make that happen. But if you can already pay your bills, why you want somebody to pay your bills? Like I don't get that. That's weird.
Yeah, I never go into any situation expecting, or that's my plan, to get someone to pay my shit. Like you said, I do have the expectation, and I would probably do it for them. Where if I was in hard times, like, can you spot me this until whenever I hit you back or not? I don't know. Maybe you'll be like, don't worry about it. But I would even still approach it like, I'm going to pay you back. But outside of being married, I just don't have any expectations of somebody paying my bills.
Yeah, I just think most men are not looking to be with a woman that they got to financially support. Some people want to be
but what about the men who want? Yeah, I'm like, what about the men who like?
No. Sometimes you want to be the breadwinner and a provider. Like that's built into my head. Like when I'm in a relationship, I feel like I should be paying bills. Like I always kind of felt like those time periods when I remember being married and I couldn't do it, I felt like I was less than. Like because that's all I seen growing up was my father paid every last bill and my mother didn't work. So yeah, it is, but times were different. You know what I mean? We had this conversation all the time about how y'all can't sit still and, not have a car to go get in while I'm with the car at work, or, sit home with the kids. And then when we tell you it's only one vacation a year, you can't just jump on the girls trip. You be like, I'm gonna take my ass to work. But the difference is like, I grew up feeling like a man is supposed to provide. And I also still feel that way. Like, I feel like if I'm in a relationship, I'm not coming into the relationship providing, but at a certain point, I'm going to show you that, okay, if we decide that we're going to live together, I'm not living in a house that I can't financially afford by myself to pay the mortgage and the bills. So at the point where I can handle my bills and my mortgage alone, we get together, I'm going to show you like, babe, I got the mortgage. I got this, I got that. You take the bitch bills, BG.
Yes,
take that
I want
shit.
Utilities,
cable. Like I might look at you and be like, "Yo, why the fuck we don't have ESPN? That's your fucking bill, and you gonna cut off the motherfucking sports? All right, cool. That's why I'm going to the cigar shop every night because you ain't paid the motherfucking bill." But the thing is, it's just like that's when you have the conversation about finances and stuff like where even before y'all live together because you want to know, but you just don't be like, "Yo, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone?" Like that's crazy.
Word of Destiny's Child. I need
really more context. I need more context.
I really don't have I don't have no opinion on this because I just ain't never asked nobody. Now, I've said somebody who listened to me talk about a situation and then just cashed at me. Like, thank you.
Right. No, we've all done that.
Yeah, but I've never opened my mouth to be like, hey, can you pay? Blah, blah. All right.
Exactly. So, can I have? Yeah, that's different.
So you know what? I think you've even shared this picture I mean not picture, the clip of the Kappa Kevin Samuels who was going viral.
Yes, sir. I knew it was coming. I was ready for this one. I knew it was coming.
So I feel like your Boonie breakdowns, Kevin Samuels, you've been there, done that. You do it all the time. Like,
yeah, it's nothing new. Like people think like, oh yeah, you trolling, and I'm like, no, this is how I be really feeling.
No,
like
you really
this
feel.
is real shit. Like Kevin ain't said shit. And if y'all want to call Kevin gay, that's fine too. But I feel like you're missing the message because you're trying to pick apart the person that's giving it.
Like, so here's the thing. Before we go into the question that I got, I felt like both clips. I mean, I've seen clips of him going hard on men. I've seen clips of him going hard on women. If you're on Clubhouse, the new app that's out right now,
I just heard about it like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's invite only, iPhone only. He has a room on there where he'll go on and rate. I raised my hand but it's interesting because he doesn't really get a visual because it's just talking. But he can look at your profile picture or whatever. Or if you have your Instagram linked, he can go to it. But I was like, rate me, nigga. Like, I wanted to know what he was going to say, even though I kind of had an idea what he was already going to say. Right. So I actually got a brave soul. Okay, you cannot say the name. I'm going to put a picture up to the camera. They wanted you to do a Kevin Samuels on them, okay?
Okay.
Before I show you the picture, they are 34, single, no children. They make $52,000 per year. Okay, they have a side hustle. It is not bringing in. It's brought in less than 20,000 this year, but it's growing. And yeah, they have no children. They also experienced some weight loss recently, and I think I'm reading my DM. That is all. Now I'm going to put the picture up. No, let me screenshot it and crop it because your ass will say their name and then I don't know.
I don't know. Do I know the person?
I don't think you do, but it was a screenshot from their IG. Okay. So I'm putting this is real time reaction, people. Okay. He's going to see the picture. Obviously you guys aren't. All right.
Okay. So what's the question?
So she wanted you to do a Kevin Samuels rating on her.
I mean,
real shit. I just got this question. Not even allowed.
Okay. So I don't know what the scale is, and I don't know his rating system. But
you knew that one girl he said was average.
Right. Okay. And she's average. The girl you just showed, she's average. It was nothing that really jumped off the page at me. It was probably 2 seconds I looked at it. It wasn't anything that just was like, oh wow, like she sticks out. Like it wasn't anything that was just like, oh, like, man, like who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? And what really boils down to it is men, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the physical. So that's what draws us in. As far as the money she makes, like I said before, men don't really give a fuck about how much money you make. Like we care to an extent, but not to the extent that it really matters, because what we just talked about, a man providing, if I'm going to provide, I'm going to need you to handle lesser bills or smaller things in the house. So the $52,000 that she makes and her side hustle, that's cute, but it's not really anything that's like, jumping out at me again. Like,
would you date her?
No, I'm not gonna say she's not my type because I don't really have a type, but it really wasn't anything that really, jumped out at me. That made me say like, yeah, like, oh yeah, who's that? I mean, like I said, for me is always probably going to be 90% physical.
All right. Because I'm only doing this because one of my listeners did this. Rate me then.
Well, it's so different.
Why is it different?
Because I know you. I like like at the end of the day, like we have like a whole different like level of respect for each other.
Is that what we're gonna call it? Respect.
Yeah, I mean it is.
It is.
Respect. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I think you probably have a lot to offer from your educational side. I know you make really good money.
You went for the degrees. They keep me warm
Yeah,
at
you
night,
got, I mean, so no. So like
nigga.
when he was talking to the other girl and what she had to offer money wise and stuff like that, I think you make good money. I don't know what you make, but at the end of the day, I think you make good money. I know you got a couple degrees. I know you have, the Boonie breakdown. You got a lot of things going for you in that aspect. Um, when we say physical, I mean, cute face, you be
Come on,
popping the lips and
face.
stuff like that. And then, you always showing the big ass.
Am I always showing it?
That's what you're always doing. You put out a whole video of you twerking your ass.
It was my birthday.
So I mean, it depends what women are trying to attract. And I think what that woman did was put herself in a bind by saying she don't want to date average men. And she was saying she wanted a different, like an upper echelon of men. And I don't see anything wrong with anybody wanting that. What he was basically saying was, do you know how to attract that person or even find that person?
Yeah, because I
And
feel
so,
like that is a conversation that a lot of single Black women have, is we're looking for certain things and it's our prerogative to look for them. But the odds ain't always in our favor, right? When you start playing the numbers game. And then it's like, I mean, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. I know way more Black women who earn six figures than I do Black men.
that's true. That's true. Like I don't see anything wrong with what you said. But in that situation where women make a certain amount of money, some women are leading with that money and their degrees, and most men are not flattered or impressed by that.
So I had on when you just said that, it triggered, I had on my podcast a dating coach lady, and she was saying that that's one of the exercises that she makes her guests do. I mean, her clients do, is trying to describe themselves without saying what they do and how much they make. And she was like, she found it very hard for women to do that. They lead with their accomplishments versus who they are. And when she said that, I remember when I was talking to I had just met somebody and I was like, fuck, I did it. I didn't even realize I did it. But it was episode 128, if you want to go back and listen to it, with Tora Sense. But she was saying like all Black women get stuck there because we work so hard for all these things we have. And we think that's going to impress somebody, and that's not impressing that nigga.
Have y'all really worked so hard for that? Like,
yes,
is that
nigga.
like a thing? I mean, so you don't think we work this hard? Like, you don't think Black men feel the same way? Like, I feel like if we sit down, I feel like if we sit down and we can bond over our struggle together, we have a better conversation than trying to make it like, oh, I'm a Black woman and I've been through this and I've been through that. Like, well, I'm a Black man and I've been through the same shit. Like, we face the same challenges at work. We face the same challenges in the world, up against police and our communities and our own neighborhoods. We all are fighting for a certain level of respect. But I'm not going to make it seem like because I'm a Black man and I've accomplished these things in corporate America or in my own personal business that it puts me in a different level than what you are. And then that's what I feel like some women do that.
No,
They feel
I do
like,
think that is a hard struggle for some women. And I'll say to this point, like, I feel like sometimes we've gone so Black girl magic build us up that it's hard. I feel like sometimes Black men feel forgotten sometimes. I'll say that. And we do I love my sister, you the bomb girl. And yeah.
I just feel like when you meeting people, like, put all of that shit to the side. Like,
you want to know what I really want to know?
What you really want to know?
What that dick do? I
mean, that's what it really boils down to. Honestly, like, at the end of the day, all of that shit could be so fucking beautiful. Like, you got the degrees, you're smart, you got this corporate job and you work so hard and you was the only black person in your class and you went to law school at Georgetown, but does that pussy get wet?
I
Like,
mean,
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, do I got to teach you how to fuck because you've been so focused on your studies? Like, that's the shit that I need to know. Like,
that's literally what I want to know. Does the dick still work? Oh my God. I'm so happy because I've just recently hit a string of
I know where this is going.
of older men in their 40s, and I have been very nervous about penis operations as men get older because you read all this shit. I will say we had one little doozy, but the rest have been all right. So stay viral, have a good diet, and your dick will keep working.
I don't think, but see, as a 41-year-old man, I don't think it has anything to do with like, I guess age. I can say like it's different, but if I'm turned on, it doesn't matter. Period. Like,
oh, I'm glad you said this.
So this is the thing. Like, as men, we know, like, okay, we know, like, there's women that we have been with or deal with that when we walk in a room and the chemistry and certain things are there, we just automatically ready to go. But sometimes it's somebody new. There's like an awkwardness. There's like a whole different level of condoms, shit like that. They just fuck everything up. So you might just be like straight up like used to a certain thing. Like, I think the biggest and hardest thing for me was coming out of being married and being with the same person for so long is like starting to wear condoms again. Like, that's the part that's just like completely different because you're like, I'm used to just fucking raw.
So I was having pillow talk with someone and we were talking about men and aging penises and shit. And he was like, you know what? He was like, nobody tells women this. He's like, but some of y'all be bad at sex too. And the problem why his dick don't work is because he's not turned on.
That's true.
And I was like, that could be the case for some men. I'm like, some men, their penis is broken and we can do things to fix it. But when he said that, I had never even thought about that. Like, because I'm worried about my motherfucking pleasure. Like, because if I'm going to come, I know I gotta do things to get me there. So yeah, when he said that, I kind of hurt me a little bit. Not hurt me, but I thought about it like, shit, I wonder if it's ever been a nigga I fucked who was not turned on.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many different things. Like, it's mental stimulation. It's not all physical. Sometimes you can be just looking at somebody. Look, I didn't seen. Oh damn! Let me just stop. But I seen a lot of naked women. Put it like that. So I was talking to my buddies, and the guy was like, "Just a woman getting naked don't do shit." Like, we've all seen a naked woman. Like, we all seen titties, we all seen ass, we all seen pussy, whatever. So at the end of the day, it's more to it than that at this point. Like, we got to connect on something. It's got to be like the way we kiss each other, the way we touch each other, the way I hear you moan, something that got to trigger me to like be in that space other than just like, come on, you ready? Like, I'm laying right here. Like,
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked him. Have you ever told a girl to her face what she did was not arousing, it wasn't pleasing you, it wasn't working? Like, in the moment.
I'm not.
See?
I'm a savage, but at the same time, like I always say, lover savage. I'm more coachable. I'm more, willing to try, like, make something work. And then after maybe like a second try, I'm just not gonna fuck with it. I ain't gonna try to like.
That seems to be the standard man approach because he said the same exact thing. He was like, "Nah, I usually just don't fuck with him no more." And I'm like, "Damn."
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's like, you just be like, yeah, I ain't gonna waste my time no more because maybe somebody else did like it. She said she had a boyfriend. She said she was in a long-term relationship. Somebody liked the shit. Guess what? Like, it's not gonna be me. So I'm going to tip one up out of this scenario. And
because here's the thing too, for some ladies listening or someone listening who was ghosted by a nigga, and I'm using air quotes on the ghosting, but you fucked a couple times and then y'all never did it again. It might be because your sex wasn't hitting or he wasn't aroused. And it had
They don't want to
nothing.
hear that. They don't want to hear that. At the end of the
Well,
day,
this is
a
why I
fuck
do this
boy.
fucking podcast. So they learn how to ride dicks and suck dicks and shit. Like,
yeah, but they be like, "Oh, he a fuck boy. He did this. He did. Like, look at yourself. Come on, sis. Look at yourself. Look at yourself, sweetheart.
Do you
don't worry about that, sweetheart."
And I've shared on here before. I had one person, and he did end up becoming my boyfriend after that. He told me, like, I thought your head game would have been way better. Like, you just look like you suck good dick, and it's mediocre. And I was offended. Like, then I sucked the shit out that nigga's dick, though. Like, I just needed that pep talk to show him my full capabilities. Yeah. And he didn't say shit no more. So I was appreciative of him telling me, like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing down there? Because it's not hitting right now.
Yeah, and I think what, like, back in the day, like, somebody told me, like, oh, you know, you was talking shit about eating pussy. Like, it wasn't hitting like that. But what I had to learn and realize at a young age was everything that worked on the last girl is not going to work on the next girl. Mm-hmm. So I think it's more of a conversation of you trying to figure out what that person wants. Yeah. And it's different levels of maturity that requires conversation. And some people just want to jump in the bed, don't want to talk about what they want. And then it's like, for me, like, if you're not going to, like, get there and you're not going to come, like, what are we doing this for? Like, this is not like us for me to just sit here and, like, try to learn your body in the dark. Like, you should already know what's going to get like, help me out. Like, tell me in advance if you want me to do something a certain way. Don't have me over here trying all the different methods that I know. If I knew I could have just did A and B versus A, B, C, D, and you also like one of the people who don't give no reaction, like, it's not fun.
Those are the worst, nigga. You want the moan and say something. We not laying up in here and not doing something. You got to do something.
It's like
I need
John
a fuck,
Q, like
Adrian, something.
Yeah, it make me like when John Q when she was like, do something. Like, I just need to know.
You are not laying up in this bed saying nothing. It's not happening up in here. So yeah, that
I need some feedback. Yeah.
I had one person like that, and it drove me fucking insane. Like you just, and they were like, if when they were nutting, like turn their head and like or bury it in a pillow. Like it must have been some shame around the sex there.
Yeah, and that's what look. And the part that get me when stuff like that happen, I instantly always think like something happened to them as a kid. And I don't know why. Like I just started thinking like, oh well, you know what? It's not her fault. Like it's her uncle's
I was like,
fault.
It's definitely some shame because he would always like bury his face or hide. Or I'm like, nigga, get over yourself. Okay, I did not plan to do that, but you took it there. I was having this conversation. Do you think it's a difference between somebody who was actually in the role of a fuck buddy versus somebody you just fucking time to time? You're really thinking.
So somebody who's in the role.
Yeah, this is like
in the role as a fuck buddy.
You're my fuck buddy, and then you just got somebody like we just fuck every now and then. Because somebody was trying to argue me down that it was a difference.
I feel like it's the same thing.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing. Like, I don't get what the difference is. I mean, if I just fuck you from time to time, you my fuck buddy. If you my fuck buddy, I fuck you from time to time. Like, what's the difference?
Okay, I'm not crazy but I did say this. I thought it was a difference between, because we always hear this thing like when women get married or they get in a relationship, the sex change. I do think it's a difference between fuck buddy dick and boyfriend dick.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like fuck buddies are way nastier than boyfriends.
Well, that's different. I disagree.
You do?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess I don't keep him around long enough for him to be my boyfriend.
From a man's standpoint, I feel like once you mine, I'm really like want to be uninhibited because I like really kind of have an idea or think I know what you do, or I think you just for me. So that's completely different at that point. as your fuck buddy, I might be nasty, but in the back of my mind, some days I'm like, damn, like, I hope I'm not playing cleanup. Sometimes you just get distracted and you got to get that out your head. But,
not cleanup,
it's
though.
just one of those things. Yeah, you're just like, damn, like, I'm just going face first on her ass. I ain't seen her in 3 weeks. Fuck you been at? What you been doing? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
The relationship sex to me is always going to be more intense. It's going to be. I'm a lover savage.
That's your style.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit more intimate. So I feel like
that's kind of shocking.
In that moment, I am. I mean, I've
never fucked you, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm just shocked to hear that you're intimate.
I was talking to somebody today, and I was like, "Yo, I really, honestly feel like anybody I dealt with, I never really just completely disrespected. Like not on no bedroom type shit or nothing like that. Like she could have been like the wildest freak. Dude already put me down. Like, oh, she a hoe. She does that. She gonna do this. She gonna do that. She come through. Guess what? I'm still gonna wild her out. But I'm gonna walk her to her car. I might hold her hand across the street. I'm gonna open that door. I'm gonna kiss her on the forehead, and I'm gonna be like, let me know when you get home. That's just how I was raised. At the end of the day, like, I'm a good person. So I don't care how much of a hoe you are. I might not never call you again. But that last call, you just letting me know you made it home.
That's the last memory. Oh, he walked me to my car.
Right. But I'm always like leave it on a good note because I'm not like out here to just try to like just trash people. So even in a situation that once now we in a relationship, like now it's time to take it to a whole nother level of intimacy past us just fucking. Like now that's when I'm trying to really like take your soul and like snatch the shit and like put it somewhere in the closet where you can't reach.
It's very possessive.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's what fucking Marlene told me. My fucking therapist was like, you have fucking control issues.
I like this therapist.
Control and ego. And I was like, okay. All right. So what you saying? Like, I'm cool with that.
Seems very accurate. Kudos to your therapist.
I'm cool with that. Like, I was just like, all right, the fuck? Who the fuck ain't playing for keeps? I'm playing for keeps out this bitch. I'm playing to win. I am competitive. I don't ever want nobody to be sitting around in no fucking sleepover, 40 years old with pajamas on in the high-end suite talking about, oh, and the nigga Brian. Oh, nope. Nope.
You got
I
good
don't have
press.
time to just do shit halfway. I gotta earn my reputation and keep
so your
dick
safe. Got a good press kit? You got good press definitely. On your dick?
Yeah. I mean, like I always say, ask about me. Y'all know.
I would do that and talk to Boonie Tuesday. I'm going to put it up and I'm going to be like, if you have fucked Brian, let me know a rating of his dick. Was it 10 out of 10 would recommend? 1 out of 10 ghetto. Keep going.
Look, you'd be surprised. So they probably not even going to respond to you.
Look, they probably won't. My whole facts is very secret. You can't ask nobody about this pussy.
And that's how I feel. Like, I feel like, you know what? People might be like, oh, you know what? I've had chicks tell me, like, Brian, I like you and this and that, but you give me these vibes like you for the streets. And I'm like, well, if you're going to say I'm for the streets, can you, like, name, like, 2 people I've slept with? And they can't. Like, a lot of times they'd be like, oh, I remember you was with the one girl. That was my girlfriend. Okay, like, whole shit is supposed to be like, I was all over the place. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you can't, like, identify, like, people in your friend circle, people in the, social world that we live in, you kind of stuck. So it's like, I'm very discreet about my shit. Like, I was just telling somebody.
Me too.
I don't even want to go places where I see other people when I go out. If I'm out eating with you, like, we out eating, that's it. Like, I don't want to go to see everybody. Like, when you was younger, you, like, go in, yeah, what's up, yo, oh, what's up, boo, woo, 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 when it was there. Now I'm like, they here. Like, I don't want to look at them and be like, hey, Boonie, hey, guys. Oh, they go Brian, he on a date. Like, I just wanted to be chill. And then the thing is, it was more, like I was saying to the person, I'm more interested in not knowing that, like, it's not a guy there that I know. I feel like men worse than women. So it's like, the first thing a dude to do is be like, "Oh yeah, I seen him out with such and such," or "I seen him. He was out with somebody the other day." Like women, they might just mind their business. Like I done been out with a woman. I haven't been out with a woman and seen a woman I know, and then the woman be like, "Oh, you must be single because you ain't with such and such no more." And I'd be like, "Nah," and they'd be like, "Oh, well, when we going out?" Like a woman to just straight shoot a shot off and seeing you out with somebody else. But a dude,
Because then it was like, oh, he took her there. I want him to take me there.
I don't go to no expensive places, so they ain't gonna
We
say
know
that about
you
me.
snowballing.
Nah, it ain't even that. Like
Sounded gross.
I like chains. I like non-chain spots. So like I wouldn't even throw no names out there because then y'all gonna be all up in my spots. But if I go to take a friend out, we going to somewhere that's off the beaten path or it's somewhere chill. And people might be like, "Oh, I know that spot," but it's just like, are you gonna be there on a Tuesday? Are you gonna be there on a Friday at 7? I don't know because it's not no hot spot. But at the same time, it's chill. The food is good. The ambiance is good. It's low key. I ain't got to worry about parking. I get in and get out. But at the same time, you're not gonna feel like I took you to this hole in the wall that was like out Falston. Like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Creeping.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
So 2020, when this episode drops, it's like 3 days left in 2020. Did you have a good year?
I did. I had a great year. As far as I'm concerned, I think I had it. I think I'm still COVID free. So that's a blessing. Looking back on it, it was a lot of lessons learned, a lot of things that we took for granted. You had to kind of appreciate and start to cherish. A lot of things were taken away from us that was always going to be there. We thought we could always just jump on a plane and go travel and do this and do that. Like I said, I was able to save. I was able to just catch up on a lot of things and get back to some places that I wanted to be financially and still have those goals in front of me. I started the Baltimore Bikers. So that bike group was like big for me in 2020. It was an outlet, but it turned into an opportunity for me to potentially, turn it into a nonprofit focusing on health and wellness in the Black community through cycling. It gave me another way to like have an outlet to, work out and do things differently than just going and lifting weights.
Look
So
at Brian
there's
growing.
a lot of, yeah, but
look at you
that's
growing.
the thing. That's the thing, Boonie. That's the thing. Let me tell you, like when women want to come out to eat and they want to talk about their resume and all this other stuff, like I'll be like, look, I don't want to have to shit on you. I do a lot of shit. But look, I'd rather them just think like it's just the Brian from the internet who posts crazy shit on Wednesdays. And I think he owned a creative culture business. That's cool. But I don't really want to have to run this shit down on you. Like I really don't want to have to like let you know like I'm really about that. So I
That's
just be
fair
chilling.
as fuck to me.
Yeah, I just be chilling. But at the end of the day, I feel like, if you do your homework on anybody you want to deal with, you're going to know the shit you need to know. And then when you know, you're going to learn like, okay, yeah, he about his business. Like I'm not the next Sean Puffy Combs or I'm not Jay-Z billionaire, but at the same, I handle my business. I got a lot of good shit that I'm involved in. And I don't like to toot my own horn, but
Toot,
I'm pretty
motherfucker.
stamped.
Go ahead.
I'm stamped out here. I'm stamped.
Okay. So what is one responsible wish for 2021?
One responsible wish for 2021. I just hope that we can get through this pandemic without anybody else I know passing away. If we can be a little bit more comfortable with some of the things that's being taken away and just accept it as it's for the best and not complain about it, not like, keep bashing people who are in the public sector. These people don't make these decisions by themselves. They're being pushed. Like people was like calling Brandon out his first day and saying,
but look, everybody else fell right in line. So
yeah, right. So it's like now, do you was ahead of your time and you made the right decisions earlier, or will people admit that they're wrong? That's basically what I'm saying. And the thing is, when you have the health department and these people getting statistics and data from other places, like they're making a decision based on what they feel is best for everybody, not you.
Just
So
you,
because you're
yes.
35 years old and you only never got sick and you feel like you would take Corona and put it in the corner of the ring and beat it up and you're going to walk out, that's not what they're thinking about. They're thinking about all of the residents in Baltimore City who are like living in poverty,
Vulnerable, yes.
really vulnerable, like diabetes, high blood pressure, don't go to the doctors, not on medication, don't have health care. Those are the people who were just falling out in the street because nobody even knew that they were sick. They didn't know they were sick. Like they already living in some fucked up places. So those are the things. That's the one responsible wish that I would have.
Okay, my responsible wish is something similar, but I just wish that we could all have a little more compassion for others. I feel like we, especially in America, we're very me, I need to do this, I want to do this. But I feel like right now we're in a moment where it's the greater good. And so we have to move as a whole for a little bit because I feel like 2021 is about to be more of 2020. So
Definitely.
if y'all would just sit the fuck down for a little bit, maybe we can save 2022. And then
that's big because I think what you're saying is 100% right. Like this shit is not going anywhere. And if you think that like the year is going to turn the calendar and boom, you back on a plane, like no, that's not happening.
Yeah, I said that shit like 2 episodes ago. I was just like, I really don't want people thinking come January 1st, this magic wand is going to make everything better. Yeah. All right. What's your ratchet wish for 2021?
Oh, my ratchet wish. My ratchet wish is that when this shit is over, we have nonstop fucking cookouts and get-togethers, and as soon as it's over, like the weather breaks, and when you look up, it's like your calendar is just full. Like, yo, we got Soul Beach in Aruba, we got cookout over here. Brian's having a cookout. Girl, come on, get your lawn chair. We just gonna smoke cigars, drink, whatever the fuck. End up in the boom boom room, whatever. Like, that's my ratchet wish, is that when we come out of this, everybody's able to party, have a good time peacefully, and just go into just living life and having a different appreciation for it, and not being on like no stuck up bullshit, and just coming out and having a great time.
We are aligned again, my friend. I think my ratchet wish is an abundance of dick and orgasms, pussy if you like it, an abundance of parties, liquor, trips. I want all that shit. I'm making up for all of this time.
She is so crazy. Oh my God.
I do. Like, I feel like I was really ready to, and I know you always say, like, when don't you have a whole year? I thought this was going to be a good whole year. And I was just really stifled to one penis.
There's nothing wrong
now,
with
it was good dick. Don't get me wrong. It was good.
That's the whole thing.
It might have been 2. I was stifled to 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Like, you want to just make sure whatever you're doing is good. Like, anything other than, like, don't settle for anything less than good. Like, if you, like, even the girl who want to be on the team with 4 others, like, at that point, you got to feel like this shit is good because you sharing it. Like,
look, she definitely got to be good or be good at it or something, because this shit.
she not that good at it, because if she that good at it, I might not tell her like it's 4 other people. I might be like, they ain't really none of your business, but right now we just need to focus on me and you. And she'd be like, okay. Like, but yeah, hey, I applaud that brother. I really think he was just trying to get up out of there, for real.
Well, I'm glad you said that to her so she can take all of this information and analyze it on her own and do with it what she wishes. So,
yeah, and I ain't really even get to go in on the Kevin Sampson stuff because we was talking about that. You threw the wild card in there with the other females and stuff. But I was on a podcast last week, and I was saying that women try so hard sometimes when they go out that they make themselves unapproachable. So, like, it's nice that you got a Louis bag and you got, Gucci bags and bread bottoms and stuff like that. But if you go into the bar, at least smile, be approachable. Don't just sit your expensive bag on the counter and you got your stiletto nails with your crystals on them and your lashes popping, and then every time a guy look over at you, you like look away or you in your phone. Like, that's why you don't meet nobody, because you turning it off. Then when you got the one dude with the loud Gucci t-shirt on and the Gucci belt, and he all like, buying you drinks, and you like, all I do is attract drug dealers. Cause like at the end of the day, like, niggas who got something to offer is not willing to deal with your bullshit. Like, I look at you and I'm like, she a fucking headache. She look fucking expensive as fuck. Like, she, sipping on that same martini, waiting for somebody to buy her a drink. But then when you buy her a drink, she didn't even give you no conversation back. So it's like, fuck her. I'd rather go talk to a chick who looks a little less all made up to like really just be like on some chill shit. Like, all right, cool. Like, these chicks be just doing too much sometimes, and then they be wondering why they single. Like, that's why you're single.
All right, bitches. So in 2021, sit at the bar, smile, put your phone away, and attract some bitches.
And you can have designer, you can have nice shit, but don't let that be your lead. Like, don't that like try to make that to be like that's what you all about. Like, just be regular. Like, chill. You can dress nice without trying to look at me. I'm getting to the bag. I'm getting to the bag. Because most of the chicks will be getting to the bag. Be some of them dressed up bums. They spending all of their money.
Oh no.
Yes. Oh yes. I know so many women who appear like they got their shit together, and then when you get down to the core of it, like they fucked up, and they always compete.
Look, so now it's my turn to do the inverse.
It is.
I was just saying.
I'll say it. Say
it. What I'm gonna say.
It's a lot of men who giving off the appearance, and that's why women have to stop going for the man who dressed so slick, got the slick haircut, and always he fresh, and all his Instagram poses and posters look like he, in a magazine or something like that. He's covering up for something. So at the end of the day, like, you might need to do a little bit more low key, got a beard with a little gray in it, early 40s, quiet but loud.
All right, pay me for your Bumble ad. The other thing I was gonna say too is
I'm not on any of them sites. None. Zero. I wouldn't be surprised if you built a profile for me and I just started getting fucking emails like, what the fuck is going on?
Yo, I should do that. I'm gonna set one up for you and catfish.
No, you shouldn't. No, don't do that.
I am a catfish with Brian's. You should not have given me that, because right now it ain't nothing but time. I'm bored. I should be seeing what bitches was respond to men on apps. All right, Brian. Any final words for 2020?
Oh man. Big rest in peace. Shout out to my guy Buster that we just buried.
Yeah, that was
2020, we had some wins, we had some L's. And I mean, that's life. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things I learned in counseling was like, your grief is not based on how much you cry or how many tears you shed. You don't have to be like all super emotional. Like, you can still live life and still grieve. So that's where I'm at with it. Like, I'm definitely trying to keep pushing forward, and at the same time still recognize and respect and honor those that have left this life. So my final words is, we just have to keep living and doing the shit to the fullest. If this don't have your attention, that you shouldn't be leaving anything on the table right now, like, you're missing the mark. Like, you're complaining about what you don't have, but while you're complaining about what you don't have or what you can't do, you should be thinking about what your next move going to be when shit open up, or trying to figure out a way to do something that is corona proof. Like, when I talk to my daughter who's in cosmetology school at 15, I'm telling her, like, what do you do? Like, should you have a Winnebago? Should you have a Sprinter van that you're doing nails in? Should you be prepared that if they shut down these services, can you get to your clients in a safe and sanitized and secure manner? Should you be popping up sitting outside Social Security ready to wax everybody on their lunch break. Like, that's the type of mentality you got to have moving forward, instead of thinking like, I'm going to get a booth, or I'm going to get a suite at the Salon Suites, and then I'm going to be set for life. No, you got to think bigger than that. So that's where people got to be with that mentality.
Well, I think that is the perfect way to end on. So, Happy New Year, Brian.
Happy New Year.
And
enjoy.
Hopefully, look, I'm gonna plug this now. So I'm committed to doing it. I just did not feel like doing anything this year. But Brian and I are going to do something virtually for sure. Because I'm not even going to pretend that we're going to be outside next year. So if we happen to get there, wonderful, but we'll do something fun.
I got a proposal.
Uh-oh.
Valentine's Day.
You're reading my mind.
The Valentine's Day episode that we always do. We go live early, right before Valentine's Day. We can take your questions, the same silly question we get every year. What should I get him? What does a man want? Like, that shit. We can do that shit live, so I can really be raw and rare for him, and, maybe even see some of y'all names when y'all type that shit in. Or you can send the Boonies DM, or send like to a safe, secure place so we don't, you right there and we listening. But we're going to have some fun with it. We can even like let some people in on our live.
No, I think we're definitely, you're already reading my mind, because the podcast, because I took a longer break in the middle of this year that this season is lapping into next year. So we're on break for Valentine's Day. So my thought was we'll do our live show on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, let's do it before Valentine's Day.
I got
Not on Valentine's Day, because I know you probably be busy.
No, let me stop.
Hey, if y'all could see the way she put her mouth around that microphone. Jeez.
All right, bye, Brian.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that is it for the Boonie Breakdown episode 163 with our problematic fave, Brian. Yes, I will do some type of live situation for him, since we're going to be on hiatus for Valentine's Day, and we normally do our special, so we definitely will do a live where we can interact with you. So please stay tuned for those directions. Give your girl a little time to have a break, put it together. I can't do shit half-ass, all right? And as we are moving into 2021, if you're listening to this on December 28th, there are a handful of days left for this year. 2020 has been super trying. It has been a challenging year. It has been a difficult year en masse. But I hope that you were able to have some good spots, some bright spots. For me, it was still a very good year. It was the year I did not know that I needed, but I am ready to level up in 2021. And so I ask and I implore you all to do what you need to do to map out your visions, map out your goals. I am personally a vision boarder, so I will be doing my vision board sometime this week before the first of the year to kind of have my visualization for 2021 and beyond. So I encourage you to do that. Do what you need to do to get your piece of the pie, right? In 2021. I felt like, God willing, we'll be on the other side of this COVID bullshit. This has been a very difficult and trying time, and I think we all could use some more positivity and light in everything that we do. So let's get ready to just crush 2021, make it the best year that we can, even if we're still living within some limitations of what we can and cannot do. But that should not stop you from having the life that you want. All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or any app that you listen to your favorites on. Don't forget to leave those reviews too, guys. Really, really, really 5 stars. You might just hear your review on the next episode. Follow us on all social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. And don't make these pretty images for nothing, okay? Have a dope ass week. Stay healthy, safe, and sane. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. Namaste. Happy New Year.